Year and a half, and we are so excited that you've tuned in for this webcast. You know, we have people from all over the world here. In fact, we now have Ziggler Legacy certified trainers and speakers in over 12 countries, 115 total. So what we're going to cover is what is the certification program, what's the need for it in the marketplace, what's the benefit to you, how can it help you fulfill your life goals, dreams, and your purpose and mission. And we're going to go through the steps that you go through to become certified. And at the end, we're going to talk about the investment, and then we'll answer any questions that you have. So I'm excited that you're here. We're going to spend the next 35 or 40 minutes going over this. I'm so thrilled that you've chosen to invest a little bit of time with us today. You know, the world needs hope and encouragement more than ever. Dad always said that. Zig Ziglar was my father, and he always mentioned that no matter where you go, if you're at the line at Starbucks, or you're out in public somewhere, you're at the airport, or you're just hanging out with friends, they need hope and encouragement. The Ziggler Legacy Certification Program equips you with our legendary program so that you can take hope and encouragement to your market, to your friends, to your community, to the businesses that you're already working with. So many of you know who Zig Ziglar is. Maybe some of you don't know the background. What I'd like to do now is to play a video. It's about a 4-minute video. So if you would, let's watch this video. It's going to share with you the history and the legacy of Zig Ziglar. Let's watch that video now.
Men with considerable enthusiasm say, I love my job because they pay me for working there. Here's the philosophy I've built my life on, my career on. You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. That's true in your personal life. It's true in your family life. It's true in your corporate life. How do you get more of the things money will buy and all of the things that money won't buy? Now, money is not the most important thing in life, but it is reasonably close to oxygen. But to tell you the truth, I love the things money won't buy. Money bought me a nice house, won't buy me a home. Money will buy you a companion, won't buy you a friend. Money will buy you a good time, won't buy you a peace of mind. Money will buy you a bed, won't buy you a good night's sleep. And let me explain something too. Interestingly enough, and I'm so grateful to be able to say this, I've got many of the things that money will buy, but all of the things money won't buy. You have a choice as to what you want to feed in your mind. As you've heard me say several times already, you're what you are and where you are because of what's going into your mind. You can change what you are. You can change where you are by changing what goes into your mind. Feed the positive and you will be positive. But I'm really talking in this session about hope. Hope is the great activator. The student with no hope of passing won't study. Why bother? I'm going to fail anyhow. The salesperson with no hope of making the sale won't make the call. I mean, what's the purpose? I'm not going to make a sale anyhow. The couple whose marriage is in trouble won't seek counseling because, I mean, why bother? Hey, this is a done deal. It's all over now. But give that person hope, and then action will take place. The way you see your future determines your thinking today. Your thinking today determines your performance today. Your performance today has a strong bearing on what that future is going to be. The way you see the future is more important than what has happened in the past. Today is a brand new day. This is the day that you can make the decisions that will make such an incredible difference in your life. The way that you look at that future is so important, but you got to plan for it. You were born to win, that's true. But in order to be the winner you were born to be, you got to plan to win, you got to prepare to win. And then and only then can you legitimately expect to win.
Every time I see that video, it always inspires me to realize the impact that my father, Zig Ziggler, had. You know, our Facebook page, I know many of you are on there, we're almost at 3.5 million likes. We're growing by 5,000 to 6,000 likes a day. Why is that? It's because there's a problem out there. The world is challenged with the things that are going on. Life is hard. There's negative things going on. People need encouragement. They need hope. They need a promise of a better day, but they need a plan behind that promise in order to make that a reality. So if you're here today because Zig Ziglar's message has impacted you, or you're called in some way to make a difference in your business or in your community, and you want to share tried and true programs that have already impacted literally tens of thousands of people, then you're in the right place. It reminds me of a story. You know, at Ziggler, one of the things that happens to us often is people will send in their books or their manuscripts that ask for endorsements. And when we get those, we take them very seriously. And we're not able to endorse everyone, but when we can, we love to do that. And one of them came in from a friend of mine named Greg Knapp. And in that book, he had a fantastic story. And I want to share this story with you because I think this story sums up why people consider becoming a Ziggler Legacy Certified Trainer. The story's about a young man. He was 16 or 17 years old, I believe, and he had a tragic accident. He lost his left arm in the accident, and it was a disfiguring accident. Fortunately, he was able to recover, but you can imagine that stage of that young man's life where his manhood was threatened because, you know, every man wants to know, do I have what it takes? And he's going through that growing up stage, and he went to his father and he said, Dad, I'm overcome, you know, the trauma of the accident, and they say I can have a pretty normal life, but I need some help. I need to build my confidence. And he said, Dad, you know, maybe I could work on martial arts or something like that that would give me some physical ability, some confidence, some discipline, some toughness. So he and his father went down to the judo studio in their community, and when they walked in, there was an older Japanese gentleman. He was the master of that facility. Think Miyagi from Karate Kid. And the young boy, the 16, 17-year-old boy, looked at him and he said, you know, I've had this accident and I'd love for you to train me and teach me and give me discipline and confidence and courage. Would you be willing to take me on as a student? And the master agreed. And they started off on the program, and this is what happened. Every single day for a year, this young man went in. And when he went into practice with the master and he went in to go through that, every single day he went in, they worked on the same throw and the same pin in judo. Every single day, same throw, same pin. 365 days, every day for a year, same throw, same pin. Now, of course, the master was throwing different attacks at him, so he had to vary his defense in order to maneuver into the same throw and same pin, but it was the same every single day. At the end of the year, the master looked at the student, the young man, and said, you're ready. We're going to do a tournament. We're going to go into a competition. So they signed up for the tournament. They go off to the judo tournament, and it was one of those elimination things where, you know, you start off and you compete, and if you win, you move forward, and if you win, you move forward. So he goes out there for his first match, and before he goes on the mat, he tells his master, he says, you know, I'm a little nervous. You know, I only know one throw and one pin. Am I ready? And the master said, you're ready. He goes out on the match, and he actually wins quite easily. It was a surprise to the young man. He gets up, and he looks over at the master, who's just smiling knowingly. So he advances to the next match, and he wins that one. He goes to the third match, and it was difficult, but he won. And finally, he made it to the championship match. He goes out and he's looking at the master like, how did you know I could do this? And the master is just smiling and, go ahead, you can do it. But when he went on to the match, he looked up and he was going to fight somebody who was substantially larger, 20 years older with 20 years more experience. And after they did the bow and the greeting and the match began, it became instantly apparent that the young man was overmatched. This more experienced, bigger, more physically mature, better shape individual was dominating the young man. 20 to 30 seconds into it, the young man had managed to hold him off, but it was obvious it was only a matter of time. The referee stepped in. He called a timeout. He called the young man's master over, and he said, "Come in here for a second." So he met with the master, and he said this. He said, "Sir, your student has performed well. He's done a fantastic job. I'm worried for his physical safety, and I don't want his confidence to be hurt. There is no shame in bowing out at this point because he is fighting a much more experienced fighter." The master looked at him and said, "It's okay. He's ready." They went back out on the floor, and the match began again, and instantly the young man was overwhelmed, but he was able to maintain his position and fend off. And after 10 or 20 seconds of this, suddenly the veteran lost his patience. And the young man was able to take advantage of that, throw him and pin him and win the match. He got up off the mat. He couldn't believe it. He went to the master and he said, "What? How did you know? How did you know?" And the master looked at the young man and he said, "It's simple." He said, "In the last year, you have perfected perhaps the most difficult throw in judo. And there's only one defense for that. They must grab your left arm." That story, when I read it, it inspired me because you see, so many of us go through life where we blame our left arm on all the things that we can't do. Yet the master knew that maybe perhaps that left arm was the one thing that was preventing him from being the champion. And that's what the world needs right now, is they need teachers and instructors and people who have the scars of life, who've overcome amazing things, who've used principles of integrity and character and communication and love and hope and goal setting and attitude and motivation and self-image, all the things that we teach through our certification program in a package that you can take into businesses and into the community. People they just need this information so they can achieve that life has to offer. And so I encourage you, if you are here because of that, if you've personally been changed by that, then you're a perfect fit. I want to share with you now what comes with the Ziggler certification program. The first thing that you'll see on the screen is our badge, the Ziggler Legacy Certified Badge. When you become Ziggler Legacy Certified and you go through our program, you branded that way. So when you go and introduce yourself to someone as a speaker, trainer, coach, or consultant, or whatever your title is, or however you want to represent yourself, you also can say, "I'm Ziggler Legacy Certified." You get to put this on your business card and your website. And because of the name recognition, the 250 million people that Zig Ziglar has impacted, that'll open doors for you. That will give you credibility because you see, people need this hope and encouragement that you can bring to them, but unless they have this underlying trust for who you are and where you've been and what you do, then it's harder to get into that frame of mind where you can get in there and present these things that are life-changing. And then when you go through the certification, you come to Ziggler. We call this our intergalactic headquarters. Here are two of our attendees there, Matt Rush and Mahango Fumbuelo. Mahango came all the way from Australia. You come into our offices and you spend 5 days with us right here at Ziggler headquarters. And the reason we have it inside of our office is because we're going to make you part of the family. We're going to adopt you into the Ziggler family. And then when you come through, there's going to be 3 courses that you are certified to go out and teach. The first course is called Building Winning Relationships, and this course is simply this. All of life and all of business is about relationships. No matter who you are or what you do, unless you can effectively build the right kind of relationships, you're not going to be as successful as you need to be. The second program is called Building the Best You. Dad said it best. He said you can put all the right skills on the wrong person and it won't make any difference. You've got to have attitude and character and integrity and motivation and discipline. And this is what this program teaches people to do. And the third program that we have is goal setting and achievement. So no matter what organization you go to, or even a public event, or in your church, or in your own business, we've had business owners come through and they just teach it to their team members. You've got to have a system or a plan in order to get from where you are to where you want to go. And that's the goal setting process. Now, each one of these courses, they come in different lengths, but you can teach them anywhere from a full day to a half day, and even do short keynotes on them. So let's talk a little bit about the highlights of the certification class. We want you to experience the material when you come in. Yes, it's a 5-day course, which gives us time for you to actually go through and understand the whys, the hows, the whats, of the program so that as a student you can get the benefit out of it. And then we start to teach you how to teach that. We give you the leader's guides, the instructor notes. You won't be memorizing any presentations, but instead you'll be standing up in front of the room 2 or 3 times during this session so that we can understand your level of competence when it comes to presenting and speaking. So if part of your goal is to help yourself develop as a speaker, as a trainer, then this course provides that as well. Then when you see, this is one of our graduating classes that just came through, all walks of life. There is Ephraim from Nigeria and Matt McKinley from right outside of Dallas, about an hour outside of Dallas. All walks of life come through. Some are business owners who want to just grow their own business. Others want to take it into a brand new market that's fresh for Ziggler. When you come through, you're going to complete what we call our dream planner. This dream planner is something that we give to you at the end of the first day, and it's homework that you work on every night while you're there. It's over 20 pages in length, and we want to know what your goals and aspirations are, where you want to be in 5 years, 3 years, and 6 months, the obstacles that you've overcome in your life, your strengths, your weaknesses, your burning desire and your passion. Why do we do this? Because we want to know your heart. We want to know how to support you in the best way possible. Our classes are small by design. You see, we want to have the community there where we can know what your needs are, where you can ask as many questions. Typically a class will have anywhere from 18 to 25 in there. So we want you to come in. We also invite our alumni to come back, so you will be meeting when you come through the class people who've already walked through the doors and have already got out into the market, and they're sharing this information. We also cover with you all the marketing and sales concepts you can use. We spend a half a day on this because if you decide to use this and go out and sell these programs as a trainer or a speaker, then you need to know how to market them. So we give you some foundational support there. We'll cover all the resources with you that you know how to teach. So you're going to get PowerPoints and the leader's guide and the student manual so that when you go out and speak, it's already done for you, ready to go through it. I love just some of the highlight snapshots that we have in the class. You know, when people come through, they get engaged in that. Here are some benefits. You're going to be certified to teach the legendary programs. One of the things I love about this is it's not a wonder if these programs will work. It's a guarantee they do, because why? We literally have thousands of testimonials on these programs and lives and businesses that have been changed because they put into practice the relationship skills, the personal development skills, and the goal-setting skills that you are equipped. You have the entire Ziggler brand and reputation behind you. I mean, literally 3.5 million likes, millions of downloads on the internet for our different programs. Our Ziggler Show podcast is going crazy. We're growing by over 40,000 downloads a month. That's how much we're growing by. All of these things are out there paving the way so that when you introduce these concepts to others, the brand precedes you. And then you can grow your own business. If that's your goal, you can grow your own business. Some people already have a speaking, training, coaching, or consulting business, and they're using this as another arrow in the quiver. We have one gentleman who has he's a part of a large Fortune 500 company, and he's taken it back, and he's trained almost 300 people on his team through these courses. Whatever your desire is. We've had nonprofits come through and they take it back and they train their staff and their volunteers. How do you do it? Well, you're up in front of the room and there's one of our PowerPoints, and so as you go through it, you learn from the front of the room as well. We teach you systems and processes so that you can do better. This is Howard Partridge here leading a little session. Howard is our business coach, so when you have business questions and things like that, he is a Ziggler Legacy certified trainer as well as our business coach, so he can pour into you and help you. Another benefit is that when you come through as a certified trainer, you also become a reseller of our core programs. What this means is that you can buy the books and the CDs and the planner and the DVDs at a wholesale rate and resell them for whatever you desire. Let's talk a little bit about what our current Ziggler Legacy certified trainers are saying. Here's Matt Rush. Matt Rush came through. Now I want you to know he was already a successful and dynamic speaker. When he came through and he let his audience know, the people who had been booking him before, that he was doing this, he was able to book additional speaking engagements immediately. Why? Because they already loved and trusted him. They knew he could do a great job, but he had new information to bring to them, and they wanted this. They wanted the Ziggler content along with his expertise. Andre is in Latvia, and he just has a fantastic heart. His desire is to train that community, Latvia and Russia. He says this: if you have a passion to transform lives of people around you, this is the place to come. My life was greatly impacted by Zig Ziglar many years ago, and coming here helped to deepen the roots and principles of how I continue to transform my life and impacting lives of many people around me. Great training, amazing people, and new friends. Excellent and loving the Ziggler team. In fact, I have a call with Andre tomorrow. So why is it that you would be interested in this? Is there a goal that you have that you want to achieve? Is there a dream that's unfulfilled? Were you designed to help others be, do, and have more than they thought possible? Let's talk about this. Let's just step back for a second. When people come to Ziggler, they say this. They say, tell us, what do you do? Well, at Ziggler, let me just explain. This is what we do. I tell people we're in the transportation business. We help people get from where they are to where they want to go. That makes sense, doesn't it? And we do this with two types of programs, what we call success programs and what we call significance programs. Our success programs are all across the board. They're in sales and leadership and management and personal development. And a success program, it could be a book or a CD, an online program like our Ziggler on Demand. Our success programs simply allow you to have more of the good things that life has to offer. Now, our significance programs go a little deeper. You see, significance is when you help someone else be, do, or have more than they thought possible. Our certification program, Ziggler Legacy Certification, is a significance program because we are asking for help. We want you to join us to take these legendary programs and go out and teach others these concepts, because when you do that, you are helping them become successful and significant. My definition, my personal mission statement that I created for myself is real simple. My mission as the CEO, my mission as Tom Ziggler, is to help you become significant by equipping you to help others become significant. So if your dream is to help others become significant and achieve a great level of success on your own in the process, then the certification is something that I want you to consider. Here's Philip Hatfield. He's one of our Ziggler Legacy Certified Traders and one of our speakers. He has overcome amazing challenges in his life. In fact, this is a picture of his leg. He was hit by he was on a motorcycle and hit by a car, and he lost his leg. That journey of adversity, of overcome this, has allowed him to open up doors that wouldn't have been open if he hadn't been through that. Would he choose to go through that? Absolutely not. Would he change anything because of the reach that he now has? Absolutely not. Just like the story of the young man with the missing arm. You see, when we go through life and we learn through the struggle, the things that we've overcome, and we realize that we can share what we've learned with others and their life has changed. There's nothing more joyful to me as an individual, to anyone, than when you help someone else achieve more than they thought possible. Glenn Keller is one of our guys who came through. Now, Glenn's a trucker, and so he's on a mission. He's trucking all across the country, and every time he goes into a truck stop, he's there to bring light and hope and joy, and he shares these principles, and he's starting to set up training programs within that community. Yes, there's so many ways that you can carry it forward. The branding, the reputation, the products, the programs, the materials, the support, they all come together for an incredible package. Rodney Island is one of our trainers down in Houston, and he travels around. He comes out of a real estate background, and this is David Simmons. David is amazing. He's in a large organization over the trucking that I was telling you about. Different people, different desires, different passions, all of them have a place here through our certification program. So why did we create the certification program? Well, let me go back to this. Early on, I mean years ago, 30 years ago, Dad wrote a mission statement for our company, and it was simply this: to be the difference maker in the personal, family, and business lives of enough people to make a positive difference in the world. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? To be the difference maker. So when we sat down and realized, how can we extend the legacy? How can we take Dad's vision and carry it out for the next 100 years? We realized that in order to do that, we needed help. We need to find people who had the same heart, the same desire to impact others. You see, we've got an amazing team here, but we do not have the capability to go where you are in your community, whether it's South Africa where we have a certified trainer, or Nigeria, or Singapore, or Australia, or London, or Mexico, or wherever in the world it is, Israel. We need the help from others to carry this message forward. So some of the young ladies, there's Cassie in the middle. Cassie came through, she was 17 years old. She's our youngest graduate. Why did she come through? Very simply this. When she was younger, in school, she was a victim of bullying, and that bullying really took a toll on her and created a ton of challenges. But she decided that she would make a decision, and that was, instead of letting it beat her down and define who she was, she decided to take what she had been through, learn from it, and then go out and reach out to help other young people. She has her own radio show that she reaches out. She does events all over. She goes in and counsels and helps young people who have gone through bullying. And the certification program and the material she learned helps her in that process. Cassie's an amazing young lady, and I just want you to know that when you come through certification, you're going to meet people like Cassie. So let's talk a little bit about what the investment is. The investment for the program is $7,500. $7,500 is the investment to become Ziggler Legacy Certified. So what does that include? Well, here's all the benefits that you get with that. You get the 5-day certification class right here at Ziggler headquarters. We start early. We start at 7:30 on Monday morning. Now, we include lunch and breakfast each day. That's part of it. And then we take you to dinner on one night. So the rest of the time you're on your own, which means that you're probably either associating and eating dinner with your Ziggler Legacy class members or working on your homework. Yeah, it's a full-time week. I mean, 24 hours a day, Ziggler on the brain as you come through the certification process. You get the brand and reputation behind you. We allow you to use the imaging and the names. We provide the marketing materials for you so that you can set up your own marketing materials. We will produce right here in this studio an endorsement video. Myself and my sister Julie are on this video, and we are telling the world that we are proud that you are a Ziggler Legacy Certified Trainer. Julie and I teach the class along with Jill Tibbles, who's been working with this program from the very beginning. She's been with Ziggler over 25 years, creating these legendary programs, translating Dad's stage programs into training materials so that you can take them out and make a difference. You know, every time I see Scott Erickson's face, I just think, man, what a great testimonial. He came through, and I've known Scott for many years, but he's out of the IT world. He's one of these high-end kind of programmer types, very, very well paid in that area. And he realized that his success, you know, he's got the skills. He can do the technical things, but he realized in the IT world, hey, it's about relationships. It's about people skills. So his mission is to take these programs into the IT world so that you can have that balance. A few more of the benefits here, the marketing materials, the branding, we already talked about that. You get the leader's guide, the PowerPoint needed to teach all 3 courses. What does this mean? This means that you can teach building your best you, building winning relationships, or goal setting and achievement. We give you a 30-minute keynote, a 90-minute presentation, a half day, and a full day course. So whatever the situation is when you go in and present that. So how does that work from a business perspective? It's real simple. When you come through the certification and you leave, whenever somebody engages you to do a keynote presentation and they're paying you a fee for that, you keep 100% of that fee. This is a licensing agreement. It's not a franchise. It's not an employee agreement. It's a licensing agreement. So we're licensing you to go out and represent us within the framework of this license. There are no additional fees except in one circumstance, and that is this. If you are doing a training class and you're going to hand out materials that has Ziggler content on that, then what you need to do is purchase those training manuals from Ziggler. Those training manuals are $10 each. Most training classes that people put on, they're charging anywhere from $100 to $300 a person, anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 a day for their time. It just depends on the market. We do not set and establish a price point for you. That's totally up to you and how you want to do it. Why do we do this? Well, we control the materials because we want to make sure the standard is the same. Whether it's being taught in Durban, South Africa, or in Jerusalem, or in Latvia, or in Dallas, Texas. We want the materials to have the same quality. Why? Because we're a brand and reputation company. You know, Jose here, he's a retired from the military, command sergeant major. He works in a nonprofit, he heads it up. It's called Operation Give Back. He works with wounded warriors. He's taking this content and this material to help wounded warriors who are coming back. They're trying to get back into society, get jobs, and enter the mainstream and overcome some of the things and the adversities they've had to have through their military experience. What a heart that he has. One of the benefits that comes with this is when you come in for the certification, we include materials with it. You're going to get 25 manuals of each one of the courses: Building the Best You, Goal Setting and Achievement, and Building Winning Relationships. 25 manuals included with your investment of $7,500. Why are we doing this? We're equipping you to go back into your own community, your own market, your own area of expertise, so that you have all the materials you need to get started. So if you go out and you train a class of building winning relationships with 25 people coming in, you have all the materials you need to teach that. You've got the leader's guide, the PowerPoints, and what you're going to hand out to the group. Now, most of the time, kind of a low-end average is $100 a person for teaching this. So if you have 25 student manuals and you teach 25 people, that means that you're going to be able to recoup your initial investment just through the materials that are there. That's why we did that. We wanted it to make sense to you from a financial investment of how you get your investment back. You're also going to get our How to Stay Motivated program, our Performance Planner, and Born to Win. One set of this. Why? Because of all the materials that we have when you're training and speaking and people come to you and say, hey, this is Ziggler materials, change your life. What do you recommend I take home? This is the program that we recommend that you take with you. So that way you can sell this, recoup some of your money that way. This is also one of the things that you get at a wholesale rate that you can resell as you see fit. You're going to get a Ziggler certified website. Some of you have probably already checked it out. If you go to ZigglerCertified.com and just Google search that, you're going to see a bunch of our certified trainers who have this website. This website is included for you for the first year. After that first year, if you want to keep maintaining it, it's $150 a year, but the first year it's included with your initial investment. What is this? This is a brochure that describes who you are and how you want to represent Ziggler. So you can put up there your speaker's bio, your trainer's bio, if you're a coach or a consultant. It talks about the different programs that are there. If you already have your own website, that's fine. You don't need to use this. You can put the endorsement video that we have for you on this website. And then in the back office of this website, all the support materials for the certification program are there. The PowerPoints, the handouts, the forms, all the things that you need to help grow your certification business. After the class, we include one-on-one coaching session, and then every month we have a training call. Probably the biggest thing that I didn't realize that we were going to have is that we created a ZLC alumni Facebook community. And I have to tell you, this is perhaps the biggest benefit that we didn't know we had until we started it. Our 115 certified trainers are very active in this community. Every day we're getting multiple posts about who's training and what they're training and where they're training. And they ask questions like, what's the best icebreaker to use? How do I present this information? Hey, I'm going into this type of an organization. Has anybody been there before? Can you give me some pointers? It is a great community. Best of all, though, when you come through these doors and you sit here in our offices for those 5 days and we get to know you, we want you to know that you are going to be adopted into the family. You're going to be carrying the Ziggler brand and name and legacy onward. So we want you to know that we love you and you're part of the family from now on. I encourage you to reach out to our Ziggler Legacy Certified Trainers. People have already gone through and ask them what their experience is. How have they benefited from this? You know, this is a class that we had just about a week ago. We have a recertification. So one of the other things that you need to do with your certification program is every year you come through a recertification class. It's a 2-day course. The investment in that is $500. You have your option of coming to our location or doing this class online. Every 3 years, though, we want you back with us. So here's our recertification class. We had about 40 come through this class. And you can tell we're kind of crazy, right? We're having fun with each other. We enjoyed the day. But we had 2 days of learning and growth and sharing ideas. There is nothing better than walking through life with people who are on the same mission as you are. They're in the mission to change lives wherever they go. So what's the next step? Here are the next steps. Well, I love to go back to this. Yeah, this is us being kind of corny. I can't help it. We just have so much fun. Here are the next steps. After this webcast, we're going to send you, and right after I explain these next steps, we're going to go through the questions. We're going to send you, right after this webcast, 2 options. The first one is, yes, I'm very interested, and you just click there, and then we send you the forms, and you can fill out the application. Now, when you fill out the forms, one thing that we do is we require a background check on everybody who comes through. The reason we do that is we are keeping the standards as high as possible. We want to make sure that everybody who comes in represents Ziggler. That background check is $100. That's a non-refundable $100 fee. If you say, hey, you know what, this is fantastic, but it's just not for me. I didn't realize it was a certification program, or I didn't realize that it, was going to have to travel to make that happen. I love Ziggler and I'd like to share it with others. It's not for me. Just click number 2 and we'll take you off of our list, but we'll stay in touch with you for other things. So those are the 2 things that are going to happen. I want to go ahead and share with you our special offer that we have right before that we get into our question and answer session. Now, I've got a question here on Skype. If you need to send a question in, you haven't done that already, on your screen in the top right-hand corner is a box, and you can fill that in and send the question, and it comes in and it shows up in the studio here, and I'll spend as long as necessary to answer those questions. So here's the special offer. Today is Thursday, and you're going to get this email straight away after this event, but if you don't want to wait for that, if you're sure that you want more information, here's the phone number for you. I want you to call 800-527-0306, and I want you to ask for either Michael or Margaret. 800-527-0306. Let them know that you were just on the Certification Webcast and you want the information. You want the brochure, the application, the background check, all of those things. And here's the bonus that we have for you. If you're serious about this and you fill out your application and call Michael or Margaret by the end of business tomorrow, Friday, and say, hey, I want to do this, then what we're going to do is we're going to include with this our Ziggler On Demand. Ziggler On Demand has every product: How to Stay Motivated, Secrets to Closing the Sale, Courtship After Marriage, Raising Positive Kids, all the core programs, over 60 hours of Zig Ziglar's most well-known audio programs. It's all online, 24/7, and that annual membership to that site that gives you access to it right on your smartphone or computer, that annual program is $99. So if you fill out all the paperwork and send in your application and your application fee for the background check, we're going to give you Ziggler On Demand. By the way, once you fill out your paperwork, there is no obligation to go to the next step, but it will be the first step you need to take in order to start being empowered to go out and represent Ziggler through all of our life-changing programs. And as that bonus, you're going to get Ziggler On Demand, which is an awesome tool and resource. Let me see the questions that we've had coming in here. Let's see. I'm going to scroll up here. We've got several questions here. And are there any territories guaranteed? So when we talk about territories, there are no guaranteed territories. You come in as a certified trainer, no matter where you are in the world, and you are allowed to sell and represent Ziggler wherever the world takes you. The only exception to that is that if somebody else, either the Ziggler Corporation or another certified trainer, is already working with a client, then they have preference there. So that would be their account. But we have plenty of room. We're far from saturation. In fact, everywhere you go, especially if you go within your warm circles, you're going to be the first one there. So I want to encourage you to come on. We do not have specified territories, though. Let's see. How can one utilize and develop his or her strengths in strategy, learning, input, achieving? Through the Ziggler certification program, we're going to give you many insights and ideas on marketing, how to present, how to sell the courses, how to be more effective in your communication, how to influence others, how to help organizations understand the major challenges they're facing, how to understand the cost of doing nothing. You see, that's something that we forget, that when a business or an individual is given an opportunity to grow themselves and they choose not to, there is a cost to doing nothing. Yeah, it's the status quo. In fact, we must let go of the status quo in order to achieve greatness. So that's something to reflect on in your own mind. If I've been satisfied with the status quo, or do I know I'm called to something bigger and better than what I'm in? Perhaps the Ziggler Legacy Certification is that program that's going to take you to that level of greatness. How does your program benefit health and wellness coaches? If you are already a coach, I think you'll understand this. The battle of the coaches that we see is not, how to eat right, how to exercise right. It's that mental diet that goes on, right? It's the confidence and the faith. It's the input that determines the output. I have a quote that I use. I call it says this: what we feed our mind determines our appetite. And so when we're working with somebody in a corporate setting or an individual setting, we can give them the systems, the steps, the processes. We can give them the facts and the figures. We can even tell them an inspiring story about why they should do it. And a lot of times we get them motivated. But unless we keep that motivational message, that level of inspiration going into the brain, that new input, the likelihood of them falling back off of that goes way up. So you're going to have the tools necessary to help your people who you're coaching go to the next level through these materials. Let's see here. Can I learn through the Ziggler program that makes me a better speaker? We have programs specifically designed for people who want to improve as a speaker, and we take some of those core concepts and we teach them through the certification class. Why do we do that? Because in order to represent Ziggler, you've got to have a certain level of professionalism. You've got to communicate at a level that represents everybody in Ziggler. Now here's the thing. If you're worried about, wow, am I going to be compared against the best keynote, big stage speakers in the world? No, that's not it. What I'm talking about is when you stand in front of an audience, can you build confidence? Can you exude the information in a way and communicate in a way that people can learn? And so if you're in the IT world and the personality set in the IT world is a little bit more reserved, a little bit more analytical, and that's the way you come across, guess what? You're perfect. But we can still teach you some skills that'll help you communicate even better. That's what we do through the ZLC certification. Let's see, does Ziggler have scholarships? We do not have scholarships at this time. In fact, the way the payment process works is real simple. When you say, yes, I want to come, then you fill out the paperwork and we do the background check, you fill out the application. We review all that. And if everything checks out, then we write a letter back and we say, guess what? Here's a letter of invitation to join us at the Ziggler Legacy Certification. At that time, you pick the course, the class that you want to go to. The next class is July 13th through the 17th. I highly encourage you. We have a few slots left. If you want to get certified, make room for July 13th through 17th. It's, when you make a decision to change lives, the sooner that can happen, the better. I would encourage you to come through that. So when you pick the course that you're going to come through, the dates, then you make a deposit of 50%, and then the balance is due 30 days prior to that. So that's how we do it. If financially you're in a position where this is a big bite to take, just keep in mind we have other courses down the road. Our next class is going to be September 14th through the 18th. And so what you might want to do is go ahead and register for that class and then save money and make the payments on that schedule. Let's see, from the Netherlands. I'm very interested in the program and really passionate about motivated speaking and training. I am from Uganda originally. I now live in the Netherlands, but I do not have access to the money at this time. Is there a way it can be helped to be a part of this? What I would say is this, is you need to follow your dream and your passion right there. Ziggler On Demand is a great option for you as far as learning our material and our content. You can be speaking on a regular basis for free in your community as you get better and you learn and you start building a business around that. We do not have a scholarship program or a way to make that happen here. However, you can build and you can be a difference maker right where you are with the materials that are online. Go to our podcast and get that, The Ziggler Show. It's on iTunes in the business podcast session. Check out Ziggler On Demand. There are so many ways to get involved. I thank you for joining us and asking that question. I want you to know that As long as you're pursuing your dream and you're a little bit better today, every day, than you were the day before, then you're one step closer to making that happen. When you create value in yourself, when you build yourself up and learn things that help others be, do, and have more, that help others become more successful, that's going to be the best way for you to create the future that you want right where you are. And I want you to know that we would love for you to come, and the timing is going to be right someday. We're going to be here when you are ready. Let me see. I think that is all the questions that we have. So let me just refocus on what we made today. You know, you guys who come and you look at this and you say, wow, this is great, I'm in, I want to do it. If that's you, if you're thinking about this for any reason, I want to encourage you to call that number, 800-527-0306. Go ahead and get the forms and the paperwork today. It only takes about 20 to 30 minutes to fill that out and get it back in. And if you do that, at least that way, you know, you've got Ziggler On Demand in your back pocket. You're basically, you know, the fee to get our background check is being waived. We're applying it to that course. Why are we doing that? Because we realize that sometimes the timing's not right and sometimes this is the right program for you. But this way, you'll have all the information that you need to make the best decision. Michael and Margaret on our team will talk to you. They'll find out your unique circumstance. They can tell you about other dates that we have available. But like I said, if you are interested in this at all, I encourage you to take action today, because if you don't take action today, there's going to be some time in the future where you look back and you say, you know, I'm going to do this now and I only wish I'd done it then. Because until you take action, nothing changes. You see, you can have all the input, you can have all the character, and you can have all the good ideas and all the good intentions in the world. But until you take action, nothing changes. And why are we doing this? Well, it's all based on Dad's core philosophy. You can have everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. And that's what I love about Ziggler Legacy Certification. Why is this? It's because it's a win-win-win. It's a great proposition. See, the reality is when you come through and you make the commitment, if we're going to live up to this standard here, we've got to give you the support, the tools, everything that you need to be successful, the encouragement, the inspiration. And then you're going to go back out into your community. And in order for you to be successful in your community, you've got to do the same thing. You've got to help the people in your businesses and in your community achieve more than they thought possible. You've got to help them have everything in life they want in order for you to have everything you want. So when we have this pay it forward mentality, where we're out there concerned and caring about the other person, that's when we change the world. I'm going to close it this way. My name is Tom Ziggler. I'm the proud son of Zig Ziglar. I appreciate you for spending time, and I hope to see you right here at Ziggler headquarters in July at our next Ziggler Legacy Certification class.